that dude. Too cool, so smooth with the hoop news. Every week we talking hoops, this is season 2. So buckle up for this ride, that's what you need to do. Cause we talking hoops, yeah. Before we get into our final segment of this week, episode 4, we talking hoops. Newsflash, man, just came in. James Wiseman of Memphis, a potential #1 draft pick of the NBA, decided to skip college and just get ready for the draft. He hired an agent. He said, you know what? I'm not going back to Memphis. I'm not paying you your $1.2 million to be ineligible, whatever he had to pay back in order. I think it was $12,000, whatever he had to pay back. It was like, you know what? I'm just going to get ready for the draft. And to be quite honest, I don't blame him. I'm surprised that he even tried to play for Memphis, that he gave it a shot and they ruled him ineligible and they making him go through hoops and all this stuff just for him to play basketball. And at the end of the day, he's going to be a top 5 pick. He's going to make millions of dollars in less than 6 months. So go ahead and get ready for the draft because you're going to have to get ready for the league. Going to have to get ready for the league. He does. It would be nice to watch him in college basketball. It'd be nice to watch him on that Memphis team because I think that what Memphis is doing is really good. But we're not going to get no more James Wiseman this year, man. It's sad to see, but he just said, you know what? I don't feel like going to class no more, and I'm tired of what the NCAA is doing, and I'm just going to go and get ready for the draft. So that just came in. You know, I'm a little sweaty. Just got finished shooting the boys out here at my school. You know what I'm saying? 15 straight games of 2-ball. Had to let them know, man, this type of shooting, this is an elitist. When it comes to shooting and making threes, I am an elitist. You know what I'm saying? I talks that talk. When the nets get to popping, I toss that talk. So, you know, a little sweaty from there. But, hey, we talking hoops, man. We going to keep it rolling. Let's talk about high school basketball now. This past weekend, had the chance to watch some hoops. So I took my son. His birthday was this past Sunday. He had a nice little birthday party. But we had the games on Saturday. So I'm like, all right, Ben, I'm going to take my boy to the games. We're going to get some Wendy's. We're going to sit front row. We're going to watch some hoops. And he watched a little bit of the games, man, which was pretty cool. But Horatio Williams, he always puts on a really good Tip-Off Classic and has some great games. I was able to see 2 games. Wanted to stay for the third, but, you know, when you got babies, you know, when it start getting late, start getting 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's time to put them down. So going to talk about the Horatio Williams games. He always puts on a great event. It was at North Farmington High School. Gym was packed to capacity. Fire marshal came out there, told us it was way too many people out here. And they was in there like sardines. The day started off with Pershing beating Wall Lake Northern. I think the score was 62-45. Cass beat Dakota 52-48. The highlight of that game, of course, was Tyson Acuff, who's been playing at a high level this season. You can't commit 6'2" guard out of Detroit Cass Tech. If you haven't had a chance to see Cass, you need to go see him. You need to go see him. The boy's been playing very high-level basketball, and he's starting to make the 3-ball, which is the reason why he could commit to a Division I school or mid-major, is because now, you know, he's able to make the jump shot now. He's able to make the 3. And we had this discussion that did he commit early? Was it a little bit too early for him? I thought that he committed at the appropriate time because I don't think he was going to get a high major offer. Now, if he keep dropping 25 and 40s on people, then hey, maybe a bigger school could have came into the picture. But I like the fact that he just said, you know what, I'm going to go to a mid-major school. I'm going to go to Duquesne, and I'm going to play my season. I don't have to worry about putting up big numbers. I'm just going to hoop and focus on winning a state championship, which is what he's doing at Cass Tech. So they was able to beat Dakota 52-48. Game after that, you had Edison over Detroit Western. Ann Arbor Huron beat Waterford Mott. We thought we were going to see Isaiah Jackson play. That's part of the reason for having Waterford Mott in this classic. But I guess he sprained his ankle in practice and he did something. One of the number one players in the state, Isaiah Jackson, was committed to go to University of Kentucky. Didn't get a chance to play, so of course Ann Arbor Huron, the River Rats just went wild on them. They've been playing well too. Devin Womack, he's been getting to the rim. He's been making shots. Julian Lewis, that's another prospect, junior for Ann Arbor Huron. You need to go see him play as well. Now, the last 3 games of the night were the best 3 games of the day. These were the games that I wanted to see. These are the games that people wanted to come to see. Gym was double compact. I mean, it was crazy in there. All right. The first game you have River Rouge just hot off their win over Ypsilanti Lincoln, the #1 team in the state the week prior, and they get Detroit King. And whenever you play King, it's going to be a slug match because George Ward, he's going to slow the game down. You're going to have to play in a half court. They're going to check you man to man. They're going to hedge ball screens. They're going to hit you. It's going to be tough to drive in the lane. You better have some type of scheme or some spacing or something because the way that Detroit King, they play defense, they're going to slow the game down for you. And the game was in the 40s. I mean, it's one of those games where it's just a slug match, man. You got two high-level teams going at it. Legend Jeter is just going at Omar Ziegler Jr. That was a great matchup to watch them going back and forth. Omar Ziegler he struggled at the free throw line, and that's going to be the progression in this game. It's okay, you could get to the rim, you're physical on the block, but what about that jump shot? What about the free throws? That's going to be what keeps him from being a high major player, in my opinion, is if his jump shot doesn't get there. I might have to get young boy back in the lab like I used to and get that jump shot right. But River Rouge, they were able to beat Detroit King 49-44. Leading scorer for Rouge was Legend Jeter again. He had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. He gets it done in the paint. He's one of the best post players in Michigan. He's not committed anywhere. He's a senior. I could see him going to a low major, mid-major school at this level, somewhere around the Midwest. Of course, he's not going to play for a Michigan school because we just let guys like this go somewhere else, which I don't know why, because he's a complete workhorse. But the guard for Rouge, Keyshawn Devlin, was very impressive with him. Very impressed with him. He's a 2021 point guard. He was composed. He played well under pressure because King is going to press you in the half court. They're going to press you in the full court, man to man. They ain't playing a whole bunch of zone. And I was really intrigued by him. He played really well for the point guard spot for River Rouge. And for a team that lost 4 or 5 starters, for them to start off the season with wins over Detroit King and Ypsilanti Lincoln, I mean that's what high level teams do. And I wouldn't be surprised if they rank top 5 in the state when these rankings come out next week because they're right there. They're beating some big teams. All right. The next game was Ferndale and Flint Beecher. And the coaches came out to see Jason Terry. Will Wade was in the building. Oregon was in the building. Detroit Mercy was in the building, as they should. They should have watched every game, man. They need players. The coaches were there. And Ferndale, they got it done, man. Colin Golston, 6'6" power forward that's committed to Siena, is a problem. He's a problem. If you don't have a matchup for him, Ferndale is going to give you problems this year. But they also got good production out of Jay-Sean Moore, 6'5" senior that's uncommitted. He had 10 points, made some plays. Trayvon Lewis, sophomore guard, wing, 6'4", 12 points from him. So, I mean, Ferndale really, they came out and they played 3-2. And against the 3-2, if their length and their athleticism really fits their personnel. I'm not much of a zone guy, to be quite honest. If I was playing zone, it was for a scout, it was for a specific person or school that couldn't really shoot. Most of the time we played man. But this 3-2 that I really like the 3-2 from Ferndale because it fits their personnel. Their biggest guy is 6'6". And outside of that, they're pretty small. And I told the coach, man, I know you like to play man to man, but that zone looked really good, man. They rotated out of it. They kept the ball out of the middle and out of the paint. They forced Beecher to shoot jump shots, and they weren't making them. I mean, Jalen Terry, guard that's uncommitted, decommitted from Michigan State, which is the reason why all the coaches was there to come to watch him play. Really couldn't get it going. Ernest Sanders wasn't much of a problem in this game. Jalen Terry, I mean, he finished with 19 points, I believe, and the majority of those from the free throw line in transition because in the half court, they wouldn't let him get to the paint. And I really think if Ferndale focuses on this 3-2 zone, I think they could be a state championship level team. I could see them playing River Rouge. I could see them playing a team like River Rouge or having a rematch with Beecher. Actually, those 3 teams are in 3 different divisions because I want to say Ferndale is Division 2. So they're going to be a high-level team to beat in Division 2 just because they have athletes. They have guys who can make scores, who can score from the perimeter. The thing is, if Colin Golston gets into foul trouble, they might struggle. but that might be a time where they go to that zone. They got long athletes. They 6'4", they long, they take up space. I really like the 3-2 from Ferndale. So they ended up beating Flint Beecher. Final score was 66-55. And they got it done. They got it done. Kyler Golston led all scores with 21 points and 16 rebounds. I told you. Big fella is a workhorse. He gets it done in there. He gets it done in there. So he had another big game. And for Ferndale to make a run in the state playoffs and the rest of the season, he's going to have that type of game every single game. And the nightcap, the one game I really wanted to see that I didn't get a chance to see was Beecher. No, I'm sorry. Grand Blanc and Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, you know, they got Pierre Brooks Jr. and Grand Blanc, they got Ty Rogers, and them two boys put on the show. Pierre Brooks ended up with 29 points. Ty Rogers ended up with 21 points. The surprise was the freshman guard from Grand Blanc who had 21 points, 16 in the first half. That's a lot of points for a freshman. A lot of points for a freshman. That's a guy that you don't even know his game. And he's like, who is this number 3 kid that's just making all these threes? And Frederick Douglass, they struggled. They struggled because the guys on the perimeter were making shots. They were making shots and making plays. And when you play against teams and they making shots, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat. And then they beat them 80-77. So it was a close game. Pierre Brooks was one of the stars of the evening. He had coaches coming out to see him because, of course, he's uncommitted as well. But I like that matchup. It was a really good matchup. Ty Rogers and Pierre Brooks. Because that's what the coaches want to see. They want to see you go against high-level players. They don't care about what you do against guys that ain't playing in college. They want to know what you're doing against the guys that's getting recruited, the guys that's getting the D1 offers, the guys that's committed to go D1, what the college guys is doing, what they doing against each other. Are you guarding each other? That's the first thing I look at. Are the high-level players guarding each other? If you're the best player on the team, you need to guard the best player on the other team. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It should happen every single game. That's the very first thing I look at when I watch the recruit. Are you guarding the best player? If it's 2 point guards going at it and you over there guarding the shooting guard, I think, hold on, man. I got a problem with that. I do. I got a problem with that. I knew Monte Morris was going to be a high-level player when they played Chandler Park in the Horatio Williams games. And at the tip-off, I got him, man. Don't worry about that. I got him. And they did the same thing. Derek Walton was like, oh, this is my matchup. And they going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And that's what high-level players do. And that's kind of what we got here with Ty Rogers and Pierre Brooks. They were going at it back and forth, because that's what we want to see. We want to see high-level players go at it. We want to see high-level teams go at it, which are why these classics are so huge, because we get the matchups we want to see, the players we want to see add an opportunity to help out putting the scheduling together. And when I'm helping out with the scheduling, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at matchups. I'm looking at teams I want to see. I'm looking at coaches. I want to see at 21 points, 16 in the first half. That's a lot of points for a freshman. A lot of points for a freshman. That's a guy that you don't even know his game. And he's like, who is this number 3 kid that's just making all these threes? And Frederick Douglass, they struggled. They struggled because the guys on the perimeter were making shots. They were making shots and making plays. And when you play against teams and they making shots, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat. And then they beat them 80-77. So it was a close game. Pierre Brooks was one of the stars of the evening. He had coaches coming out to see him because, of course, he's uncommitted as well. But I like that matchup. It was a really good matchup. Ty Rogers and Pierre Brooks. Because that's what the coaches want to see. They want to see you go against high-level players. They don't care about what you do against guys that ain't playing in college. They want to know what you're doing against the guys that's getting recruited, the guys that's getting the D1 offers, the guys that's committed to go D1, what the college guys is doing, what they doing against each other. Are you guarding each other? That's the first thing I look at. Are the high-level players guarding each other? If you're the best player on the team, you need to guard the best player on the other team. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It should happen every single game. That's the very first thing I look at when I watch the recruit. Are you guarding the best player? If it's 2 point guards going at it and you over there guarding the shooting guard, I think, hold on, man. I got a problem with that. I do. I got a problem with that. I knew Monte Morris was going to be a high-level player when they played Chandler Park in the Horatio Williams games. And at the tip-off, I got him, man. Don't worry about that. I got him. And they did the same thing. Derek Walton was like, oh, this is my matchup. And they going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And that's what high-level players do. And that's kind of what we got here with Ty Rogers and Pierre Brooks. They were going at it back and forth, because that's what we want to see. We want to see high-level players go at it. We want to see high-level teams go at it, which are why these classics are so huge, because we get the matchups we want to see, the players we want to see, add an opportunity to help out putting the scheduling together. And when I'm helping out with the scheduling, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at matchups. I'm looking at teams I want to see. I'm looking at coaches. I want to see how George Ward coaches against Coach Stone. That's a matchup I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what we're looking at when you have these holiday games. And going forward, Christmas is a huge season, winter break. So now we on winter break now. We had a half day today at my school. Most schools around Detroit, the Metro Detroit area, they're either going to be off today and tomorrow. So they're going to be playing in a lot of classics, Christmas classics, holiday classics. You got the Motor City Round Ball that's coming up. You got the PSL Holiday Hoops Classic that's coming up. You got the River Rouge Holiday Classic. They're hosting a classic this weekend. I want to say it's the 21st. You got the Holiday Hoops for Hope. That's coming up the 22nd, 21st, and the 22nd. And, of course, you got the Motor City Round Ball at Ferndale High School from December 27th to December 30th. So if you just want to go watch some basketball, high school basketball, there's plenty of high school basketball being played between now and the end of December for you to go out and check out, man. Go out and check out. So hopefully I'm going to get out to some games. So I don't have to go to work. I still got to go to the airport. But I'm going to go out and check out some of these games that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I got to get a chance to see Imani Bates, even though every time he plays, it's a sellout. But I gotta go see Ty Rogers. I gotta go see these guys so I can get an up close, live, personal look at them, and it's an opportunity for you to do the same. So that's that. This week, Tyson Acuff, man. Tyson Acuff, he's rolling, man. He's rolling. He putting his name up for Mr. Basketball. He's like, hey, look, man, if I gotta drop 50 on Henry Ford at Henry Ford and hit the game winner, that's an early candidate kind of game right there. And that's exactly what he did. He had 48 points at Detroit. Henry Ford was always a tough place to play because the walls are sweating, the fans are on your back. You're right there. It's just everybody is just right there. There's always a great environment for a game. But Detroit Cass Tech beat Detroit Henry Ford 64-63. Tyson Acuff 48 points. Man, I mean, he's doing it. He's doing it. That's what seniors are supposed to do. Seniors in their senior year, if you're a Mr. Basketball candidate, you're supposed to put up big numbers, man. Get buckets and get dubs. That's what he's doing right now. He's getting buckets and he's getting dubs. So shout out to Tyson Acuff. That's our high school player of the week after dropping 25 points over the weekend and then dropped 48 points in PSL action. That's our player of the week this week, committed to Duquesne. Expect a great season from Tyson Acuff, a Reach legend. You know, a shout out to my Reach legends, getting it done, doing what they do. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for high school, man. Not a whole lot going on because, you know, Christmas is coming up. You got to get out and get your gifts and all that. And, you know, make sure you go out and watch some hoops, man. Go out and go to the Motor City Round Ball, watch some hoops. I'm going to be there. You're going to see me in the mix. So it is what it is, baby.